A good late afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Sage here. You're watching Kalkine TV live from Sydney, and this is the last show of the day, the last trade. There's no better way to wind down the day than with the latest market close commentary. So let's get started. And the ASX 200 opened higher and was 0.2% higher, up 17.4 points by noon, with soaring casino stocks and tech stocks leading the way. And eventually the benchmark index settled up as well. And that was settling up just 2.4 points today. Over the last 5 days, the index has gained 0.93% and is currently 2.48% off its 52-week high. Sectors are mixed today. 4 sectors traded higher and 7 were lower. Information technology was the best performing sector, gaining 1.26% and 2.2% for the past 5 days. Let's look at the top gainers and losers of the day. Nanosonics led the gainers pack, trading up by 9.3%. And next up by nearly 8% was Crown Resorts, which is unlikely to lose its Melbourne casino licence. Other top performers in the ASX 200 pack comprised of Pilbara Minerals, PolyNovo and the Star Entertainment Group. On the other side, Mineral Resources was the biggest laggard today after it revealed some downsides from the fading iron ore boom this morning. Shares fell by more than 6%. Regis Resources fell 6% as well, and Whitehaven Coal fell 4%. Other laggards were AGL Energy and Kogan.com. Let's now shift our focus to the stocks that fetched the investors' attention today. IT, hardware and software distribution business Dicker Data has reported a September quarter profit before tax up 26.6% and revenue up 16.1%. Investors sent shares up over 10.9% today thanks to this result, which includes 2 months' contributions from Dicker Data's acquisition of New Zealand distributor Exceed Group. Capping off the year's biggest initial public offering with a strong opening performance, asset management firm GQG Partners rose on its ASX debut. The company's shares had listed at $2 a share but rose 6% to $2.12 Australian within a few minutes of trading. The company listed with a market capitalisation of 6.5 billion Australian dollars and will rank among the top 100 companies on the local bourse. Iron ore and lithium producer Mineral Resources reported that it has shipped 5 million tonnes of iron ore over the quarter at an average price of US $78.32 per dry metric tonne. It said it's on track to meet 2022 production guidance of 21 million tonnes to 22 million tonnes, and shares plummeted by over 6% today. Moving on, Crown Resorts is incredibly unlikely to lose its Melbourne casino licence. The value of Crown shares jumped as much as 300 million Australian dollars on the release of the final report from the Royal Commission, despite the news that it strongly recommended that James Packer's CPH should reduce its 37% stake to 5% by within 3 years. Starpharma Holdings shares rose by over 3% today after the company reported that it was exporting its Viralise coronavirus nasal spray would be exported to Vietnam. And the biotech giant has inked a deal with Trong Bao Land, which will import and distribute the product. And Prospa Group has reported a sharp rise in new lending in the latest quarter, and it says small businesses are increasingly upbeat about borrowing as the economy emerges from lockdowns. New lending grew to 128.5 million Australian dollars in the September quarter. It seems like confidence is increasing among the small and medium enterprise customers as lockdowns were eased, and this was driving strong demand for new loans. The fintech firm's shares have risen by about a third in the last year to 99 cents. Australian fuel supplier Ampol Sales has reported a slump in sales as statewide COVID-19 lockdowns across New South Wales and Victoria shut borders and curbed travel. Fuel volumes dropped 16% in the 3 months to September 30th compared to the previous quarter and 16% compared to the same period last year. Ampol shares traded in the red zone today. Insurer Suncorp Group provided an update on its natural hazard claims since the financial year began on the 1st of July. It said that it may have already incurred up to half its allowance for natural hazard claims for the current financial year after a run of storms in October. Suncorp shares traded down by around 0.5% today. And now that we know what the stance is back home, let us move on to the next segment and understand the Asian market's performance. The Asian stocks inched higher on Tuesday as upbeat Wall Street earnings lifted the broader economic outlook, though fresh worries about China's property sector hit Hong Kong and mainland markets. Japanese topics rose 1%, South Korea's Kospi gained 0.5%, while the Hang Seng added 0.4%. And we're now in the last segment of the show. Let's take a quick look over the buzzing crypto market's performance. Well, there are over 6,000 cryptocurrencies as of 2021, and new coins keep appearing as it gains worldwide acceptance. Cryptocurrency prices today surged as Bitcoin was above the US $63,000 level, but below its all-time high that it had hit last week after the debut of the first US Bitcoin futures exchange traded fund. The price of the world's largest cryptocurrency by market capitalisation was trading nearly 2% higher. And Ether, the coin linked to Ethereum's blockchain and the second largest cryptocurrency, gained more than 2%, while Cardano prices were up over 1%. And on the flip side, Dogecoin plunged more than 2%. Meanwhile, a new cryptocurrency called WorldCoin wants to mass-produce tens of thousands of silver orbs operated by entrepreneurs scanning eyeballs in return for free crypto. This does sound like something out of a sci-fi movie, but that's what the latest digital asset founded by tech investor Sam Altman, along with Alex Blania and Max Novenstern, is offering to the masses. And let's see how events around this unfold. And with that, folks, it's a wrap. Hope you found the market closing commentary informative. We'll be back tomorrow live from Sydney at about 9:30 in the morning with our first report on the pre-market scenario. Take care and stay safe till then. Sage signing off.